Why did Lewis Hamilton publicly compare Ferrari to Mercedes in the most damaging way possible? What setup change transformed Charles Leclerc's car from competitive to undrivable in just one session? And how did Ferrari manage to leave both their star drivers so furious that one of them punched his steering wheel in pure rage, while the other questioned whether his new team understands the basics of Formula One? The Singapore Grand Prix weekend should have been Ferrari's moment to fight back. Instead, it became another chapter of chaos that has left Hamilton and Leclerc absolutely fuming, the tifosi demanding answers and rivals in the paddock shaking their heads in disbelief. Everything had been building towards something special in Singapore. During Friday's practice sessions, Ferrari looked genuinely competitive under the Marina Bay lights. Hamilton spoke with confidence after FP1, saying he felt on it and believed they were genuinely in the mix for the front rows. Leclerc showed flashes of real pace early on, with the SF25 appearing well-balanced and capable of challenging the top three teams. The tifosi watching on Friday night dared to hope this would finally be the weekend where Ferrari converted promise into performance. Then came Saturday, and with it, the collapse. Hamilton was left sitting in the pit lane during Q3 with his car switched off, tires cooling, and precious performance slipping away by the second. Every driver knows that in Singapore, keeping tire temperatures alive is everything. The track is unforgiving, the grip window is narrow, and once you lose heat in those Pirellis, you cannot simply bring it back on the outlap. Hamilton's radio message said it all. He couldn't believe what Ferrari had done, and he made a comparison that cut deeper than any criticism. Mercedes, his old team, always got the fundamentals right. At Ferrari, the same amateur errors keep repeating. For a 7-time world champion, that is simply unacceptable. By the time Hamilton was released onto the track, his grip had vanished, his rhythm was broken, and his chance of delivering a top lap was destroyed. He openly stated after the session that he had been feeling strong, that he thought they were genuinely fighting for top positions. And then in Q3, there was nothing. But Hamilton's frustration was just one half of the story. What happened on the other side of the Ferrari garage was even more explosive, and it revealed a problem far deeper than just timing errors. Charles Leclerc's anger was even more visceral. His frustration had been building throughout the qualifying session as he fought a car that was unstable, unbalanced, and nearly impossible to control. By the time Q3 ended with him only 7th fastest, his fury boiled over into a furious outburst captured on team radio. So bad weekend. Then came the punch to the steering wheel, a gesture of anger and despair that perfectly captured the heartbreak of another squandered opportunity. This wasn't just disappointment. For a driver who has carried Ferrari's hopes for years, this was humiliation. What makes it worse is that Ferrari had looked competitive before one crucial decision changed everything. After FP1, the car had shown real pace, but fears of plank wear forced the team to raise the ride height. That single decision transformed the SF25 from a competitive machine into something Leclerc described as fundamentally broken. Leclerc admitted the car never felt the same again after that change, and that the usual feeling he relies on at street circuits had completely vanished. The balance shifted, the stability disappeared, and from FP2 onwards, every corner became a battle of survival. He wrestled with the car through the tight third sector, but it refused to give him the confidence he needed, the real sting. While Ferrari struggled with their setup disaster, Mercedes, a team not expected to shine in Singapore's heat and bumps, put George Russell on pole position. For Ferrari to fall so far short is humiliating, and both drivers know it. The on-track disaster was devastating enough. But what happened after qualifying revealed just how broken the relationship between Ferrari and their drivers has become, and why this weekend might mark a turning point. Leclerc's words after qualifying were even more damning than his radio outburst. He said he didn't know what to say anymore, that he gave everything but the car simply would not respond. Then came the brutal comparison that exposed Ferrari's core problem. If Mercedes, a team not expected to shine in Singapore, could put a car on pole, then Ferrari have no excuses left. Those comments stung because they exposed the uncomfortable truth. Rivals are progressing, finding solutions, unlocking performance. Ferrari, meanwhile, are standing still or even going backwards. For a driver who has shown unwavering loyalty year after year, These results cut deep, and his fury is becoming harder to contain. Hamilton's frustration runs even deeper because he's directly comparing what he has now with what he had at Mercedes. At Brackley, the fundamentals were never in doubt. The strategy team knew how to release a car at the right time, knew how to manage tire temperature, knew how to give their drivers the best possible shot. At Ferrari, he's watching those basics being fumbled repeatedly. His public comparison between the two teams isn't just criticism, it's a warning. Ferrari promised Hamilton a new era when he signed. Instead, they're delivering the same old mistakes dressed up in new colors. Team boss Fred Vasseur tried to explain after qualifying, admitting that Ferrari missed something and pointing out they ran similar lap times in Q1 and Q3, failing to benefit from track evolution. But that explanation only fueled more anger among fans and observers. The immediate disaster is clear, but the long-term implications of this weekend could be even more significant. The cracks in Ferrari's operation are widening, and both drivers are running out of patience. For Hamilton, this Singapore weekend represents everything he feared when joining Ferrari. He left a team that, even in difficult seasons, executed the fundamentals flawlessly. Now, he finds himself in the midfield, watching his former team celebrate pole position, while Ferrari can't even get the basics right. The comparison he made between Mercedes and Ferrari isn't just about one qualifying session. It's about a pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore. Every weekend seems to bring a new strategic error, a new miscommunication, a new missed opportunity. For Leclerc, the situation is equally dire. At Marina Bay, grid position dictates destiny, and starting 7th is effectively a death sentence on a track where overtaking is nearly impossible. His rage wasn't just about one compromised lap. It was about the inevitability of what it meant for his race and, increasingly, for his future with the team. The Tifosi reaction has been one of pure outrage. Social media exploded with criticism, with fans pointing out that Hamilton had to fight with used tires in Q3, while Leclerc was left wrestling an undrivable car. They're demanding accountability and demanding the team stop wasting the talent of two world-class drivers. 6th and 7th on the grid might sound respectable on paper, but in Singapore, it's meaningless. Ferrari have effectively lost the race before it even started, and everyone knows it. The real questions now facing Ferrari go far beyond one disastrous qualifying session in Singapore. Can they fix these fundamental execution errors before they lose the confidence of both drivers completely? Will Hamilton's public comparisons to Mercedes force a reckoning within the team's strategy department? And how much longer can Leclerc's loyalty withstand these repeated disappointments? The answers will define not just the remainder of this season, but potentially the entire trajectory of Ferrari's ambitious project. What's certain is that both Hamilton and Leclerc have run out of patience, and Ferrari's next move will be crucial. What do you think Ferrari needs to change first? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more F1 analysis as this story continues to develop.